Hello, all right. Hey, this is Navid. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about Purpleheart wood. We've got some cool Ouds building these days with Purpleheart. And we're going to talk about one Oud that we have left in stock that you can check out as well. That's made out of Purpleheart. But first, I'm just going to do some music for you guys. Hope you enjoy. Let me know if you have questions. We'll be getting to that soon. Oh, also I'll be going through some Ouds on eBay and giving you my opinion on them. You know, what I would be doing if I were to be looking at buying a second-hand Oud or an Oud from eBay or anywhere online, you know. I just want to go through some of the things that I tend to look at in a bunch of different Ouds that I've found online to give you an idea of what my thinking process is when I'm looking at Ouds. Because, you know, you just never know when you're looking at an Oud. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy this YouTube Live, and let's get to it. This is a little piece I've been working on in Farfaza. I call it Longa Farfaza. still needs some work. A new little composition of mine. All right, hope you enjoyed it. So let's get down to it. So Purpleheart wood. Purpleheart wood is a very cool wood that Turkish makers have started to build ouds with Purpleheart. Other woods like Kokobolo and these kind of things, it looks really cool on ouds. Purpleheart is an interesting tone wood which is being used to build guitars too. It's a very heavy wood, very strong and durable, and apparently it makes great wood for the neck, peg box, and the bowl. One downside perhaps is that Purpleheart is very heavy, so it makes for a really heavy duty oud. When they build electric guitars and electric bass, they actually hollow out the body a little bit to make the instrument lighter. But ouds are made out of thin strips of wood, so maybe that doesn't affect it too much, the weight of the instrument. But definitely it'll be a heavier wood than, say, walnut, for example. Walnut is quite light, but if you want a more heavy-duty oud, then Purpleheart wood might be a good option for you. A lot of people contact me and ask, they say, I live in really cold, dry climate. What oud should I buy that would be okay for this weather? And usually I say you might want to look into maple, a maple body, maple bowl. That of course won't help with the soundboards. Soundboards use spruce and cedar, and generally that's very soft, resonant wood. But the higher quality grade of the wood, the drier the wood will be, so it'll be more stable. So that would be something to consider. AAA wood is excellent, for instruments. AA quality wood would also be good. But yeah, Purpleheart might be a good option for harsh weather conditions because it's so durable. Why is this wood a little bit more expensive? It's probably because it's a bit more rare on ouds, and it's actually ridiculously hard to work with. When I was doing some looking up on this wood, one of the main characteristics of this wood is its strength and its density and its durability. It's actually so strong that it's considered one of the strongest. Looks like I got disconnected there for a minute, but you didn't miss anything. I caught that. So yeah, so it's such a strong, dense wood that it actually people have trouble actually working with it. You have to be really experienced, and it can really damage your tools. So that's one of the reasons why it's a bit more hard to come by. But yeah, it's a cool wood. I want to show you some pictures of it once I get this up here. So in the link in the description, you can see a link to oudforguitarist.com/oudforguitarist-ouds. Show you what that link is here. You can check out the Purpleheart wood oud that we've got. So yeah, check that out. Check that out, the link in the chat. And yeah, the Purpleheart one is the only one left that we got in stock with Ethnic Musical. So check that out. Pictures are beautiful. Click on the pictures, you can see what this looks like. Try to put my screen up here. Okay, here we go. Here is the Purpleheart bowl. You can see it's a beautiful color. This color only lasts for about 15 years or so. Eventually it turns a very dark brown. So that's something to consider. You don't buy Purpleheart wood for the looks completely. Buy it for the strength and the durability. This, I don't know, with ouds, these have a heavy coating of some material. I don't know what material they use for the coating of the bowls, but it's super. There's no air getting into this, so it may last quite a long time. But of course, the ouds, the air in the bottom, in the body of the oud, air gets through there, so it is going to eventually oxidize, and it will change color. So it won't be this beautiful purple color all the time, but it is definitely going to be a long-lasting type of wood. All right, let me see if I can find you some more pictures of what Purpleheart ouds look like, or wood looks like. If you just search Purpleheart guitar, check out some of these images here. You can see it looks pretty impressive. Check this out. There you go. It's very cool. Yeah, these would make for very heavy guitars. As you can see, they hollow this out a little bit so that it's not as heavy. But yeah, very cool wood. Very cool wood. And yeah, probably the best thing about it is the color and how hard and durable and strong this wood is. So when you make an oud out of it, I think it's a good option for, ouds that are going to be kept in cold climate, dry climate, excessive humidity. Of course, you want to manage all those factors regardless of how strongly built the oud is. But Purpleheart wood might be a nice option to prevent warping. That's not going to solve the problems on the soundboard though. If there's eventually the soundboard is going to be a softer wood. But yeah, so higher quality soundboard would be better for harsher climates. But yeah, very cool wood. All right, let me see if I have any more notes about Purpleheart wood. Let's see here. Yeah, so final conclusion about Purpleheart wood is that don't necessarily buy it for the looks. The looks won't last forever. If you're planning on keeping this oud for many years, eventually it's going to turn to like a dark brown color, but you can protect that by preventing the air oxidization and also UV light. Apparently that can prevent the color from going. But buy it if you want a heavy duty oud. If you're worried, if you want to travel a lot with your oud and you're worried about it, buy it for the durability, its strength, and of course, yeah, the added look that you get, for at least 10 years with the instrument. It's pretty nice. So right now I want to go ahead and look at some ouds with you and talk about ouds that I see online. We're just going to go to eBay because eBay is a good place to start. Okay. All right, so when I look at ouds, if you've read my newsletter, the important thing to find is to find a picture with the action. So this is apparently Zeryab Nahat style mosaic oud. It does appear to conform to the Zeryab aesthetic when I look at that. Definitely does look like it's a Zeryab oud. Very, very nice, very ornate. Take a look at the pictures a little bit and just get your impression. This peg box, it looks okay. It looks a little bit. It doesn't look that precise, when it comes to how the peg boxes fit on there, but it could just be the angle. That's some of the things that I look at. Very ornate. I never usually buy ouds for the looks, but there it is if that's what you're looking for. Okay, let's look at another oud. Not a bad oud. What's the price here? So about $1,300-$1,400 US. Yeah, I don't think I would buy this oud for that price. I'm not a guy who's gonna buy the oud just for the looks, so that I might pass up on that. That wouldn't be my first choice. Let's take a look at another one. Okay, what do we have here? Arabic Oud K Azuz Professional with leather case and extra strings, $1,000. Okay. Interesting. It doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty nice, pretty clean workmanship. Another thing I look at is the spacing of the strings and how they're spaced. If they're, you can probably get a good impression or bad impression of the workmanship if you look at the spacing. Make sure that the strings are, you know, even width along the fingerboard. This one looks okay, a little bit more, doesn't look like the best craftsmanship, a little bit rough around the edges, but it doesn't look too bad. Let's look at some more pictures. When you judge ouds, don't judge by the bowl so much, because the bowls go through so much work in order to get them looking like this. And the bowl aspect is probably pretty safe. Most ouds don't have problems in the bowl at the outset when you first buy it. So don't really, the bowl is not so important to look at. What you want to look at when you're buying an oud is, you know, how the fine details around the soundboard here, how the strings look in terms of now that I'm getting a closer look at this, I'm seeing, you know, it's a bit more rough around the edges, especially around the fingerboard. A little bit rough, looks like, not such a clean job, but it looks okay. Hard to know for sure, but pretty clean around the bridge, looks okay. So yeah, that's something I would look at. Don't really look at the bowl to tell you, you know, if it's a good oud. The bowl is not the most important factor. Okay, let's look at some other ones here. If you have any questions, if you're looking for an oud to buy, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, happy to help you. Do my best to answer. Let's look at another oud. All right, what do we got here? Zeryab Oud again. Okay, this is their, you know, $500, their lower base model, Chamois 1. We're selling it. You can check these out at the link I put in the chat. We have some Zeryab Ouds there for sale too. Different style than this one though. These ouds are pretty straightforward, pretty safe buys. They have some pretty consistent workmanship. A little bit rough around the edges, the Zeryab Ouds, but not bad ouds for beginners, amateurs, somebody that just wants a decent oud. I have a Zeryab Oud, of course, as well, that you sometimes see me play in my videos. They're not bad. They also come, nice thing about Zeryab Ouds is that they come with see the hole here in the peg box. You can actually adjust the angle of the neck a little bit. It's not going to be like a guitar, what's the truss rod. It's not exactly like a truss rod, but it's pretty close. But it does do some fine adjustments that you can do to set it up properly. The ouds that do ethnic musical and I sell with that are Zeryab, they set them up so that they're ready to play. So you just have to tune it up out of the box and get it in tune, and it should be an ideal string height and everything and set up. As you can see, the Zeryab ouds, look, the peg box, it's pretty clean work. Not too bad. Especially these models. If you check out the model that I have, the models that we got here on my site, this is the classic Zeryab oud. This oud here is really quite a nice oud. This one I highly recommend. Really quite a nice oud. It's about, I think it's the same model as the one I just showed you that you can find on eBay. But the added value of this one though is that it's been set up. The Zeryab ouds, they come a little bit rougher around the edges, like I said. When I bought mine, When I bought mine, the nut needed to be adjusted. It was too high and it wasn't that playable, so I had to actually sand down my nut so that it was nice height from the fingerboard. All right, let's take a look at another oud. So yeah, then the nut, what I'm talking about here, is this area right here. It was too high, so I had to sand it. It wasn't that comfortable to play. So now it's nice, really nice and close to the wood, to the fingerboard, and it's quite playable. The ouds that we sell through Oud for Guitarists, they're all set up and ready to go, so you won't encounter that problem. But if you buy Zeryub ouds from elsewhere, it's possible that it won't be set up optimally. Let's look at another couple ouds here. In my tip, I mentioned that you should look at the action. If the seller, especially if it's a second-hand oud, you need to take a look at the action. The action is the height of the strings from the fingerboard. Okay, this one's interesting. I want to show you what I would think about this one. This one's around $1,000. Let's take a look at the oud itself. One thing I noticed right away is that there's a lot of, once the picture hovers up, you can see there's a lot of lines in the wood, right? That's because the soundboard is made out of multiple pieces. They glue them together, and you can tell that there's multiple pieces going into the soundboard. So that is going to be a lower quality soundboard. This might look like a very ornate oud, but there's multiple pieces there. Usually, and it's also not very pretty because they haven't matched up the lines. Most ouds, they are can be made out of multiple pieces on the soundboard. But usually what they'll do is they might do like two pieces of the soundboard, put them together. So this one, if you look very closely, you can see the edge where they have put together the wood, but you can't tell in the video, of course. This one does look like it might be 2 or 3 pieces of wood put together, but they have taken the care to make sure that the grains line up and it's nice and there's a term for it, book matched. I think that's the term for it, book matched. So yeah, so it looks very nice, but you can tell right away that that oud, it looks like different grades of wood that have gone into making that different. You can just tell from the color that's different. So let me show you that again. You can see from there if the colors of the wood is different. Another thing that I notice is that some things look a little bit off center. I'd like to see more closer pictures of this oud. So I would stay away from this oud, to be honest. This one wouldn't be my first choice. Too ornate for my taste, and yeah, doesn't look so promising in terms of the soundboard. Yeah, so I'd stay away from this one. Let's see what else we can find you. We'll take a look at the questions shortly, guys, and answer them. Okay, this is an interesting oud. Vintage oud. Okay, $4,000. Okay, yeah, definitely a older oud. Now, these look like frets. They're not frets. Don't get that idea. They may indicate roughly where your fingers should go, but it's not going to be completely accurate. Yeah, it does look like a old oud. You can tell by the oxidization that's gone on in the soundboard, made it nice and very beautiful looking. It does look like a more antique, maybe from the 80s or something. Who knows how old it really is. Okay, this is nice. Look at this. This is what you want to find. When somebody's selling an oud, they should take pictures of the action. Look, you can see the action the action is quite nice. This looks like a reliable, like very playable oud. Very reliable. That is good to see. You don't want to see the strings too high off the fingerboard. Then you want to stay away from that. This looks like it has been taken care of. Maybe it's been repaired. These pegs do not look like original pegs. They look like they've been replaced over the years. So this looks pretty promising. Let's see what the label says. Can't make out all of it very quickly. Let's see. Yeah, I need more time to read that. But yeah, some of you who are better at reading Arabic than I am, take a look at that. You can see what it's all about. Let's take a look at another picture. Okay, it comes with a case. But yeah, this is what I love about this posting. This is a safe bet because you can tell that the action is not too high. It looks very playable. So that's great. This oud, I'd be interested in this oud myself if I were looking to spend $4,000 on an oud. So yeah, looks like it's gone through repairs though, cleaned up the soundboard and whatnot. Something to consider. Good to know for this. Okay, let's show you another option. Open up all these links here. Okay, that'll take a little bit of time to load. All right, I'll take a look at your questions for now, and then so I get an idea. Alrighty. Alright, no questions yet. Yeah, do we know the luthier for the Purpleheart oud? Let me look that up for you. I'll look that up after I check some of these ouds. Alright, let's look at this oud here. Alright, professional Egyptian oud. Okay, interesting. Okay, right away you can see that this oud is not the greatest oud. A little bit rough around the edges there. Quite rough, in fact. Who knows how... Yeah, stay away from this oud. Don't buy this oud. This oud is not going to be playable. You can tell by the price right away. You can see it's just quite obvious this is not an oud I would want anyone to buy. But you know, you can see the bowl is quite nice. So don't use the bowl as a gauge of whether the oud is good or not. The bowl looks, you know, nice. It's got that that nice pattern there. They've used different types of wood to make it. But this is not an oud that I would want you to start playing with. It's pretty brutal. Yeah. So stay away from that. You can tell by the price too that it's not a very high quality oud. Alright, let's go to the next one. This one we saw. Okay, how about this one? Okay, Master Darer. Okay, Darer is a really well-known luthier in Egypt, I believe. And so yeah, nice bowl looks like. Okay, let's look at the front. Floating bridge oud. This looks promising. I wish it would zoom in faster. But you can tell from the string spacing that this is a playable oud. No pictures of the action though. But on floating bridge ouds, the good thing is that action is easily correctable with you can shorten the floating bridge, making it a little bit lower. You can lower it with a qualified luthier, and it'll fix the action for you. But it looks like a nice piece of ebony wood there. Looks like nice soundboard as well. So this looks like a playable oud. A little bit of a funny shape to me, if you ask me. I don't really like the look of this oud, but it looks like it's a safe buy. For the price, sure. Might be better than some of those ouds that we saw earlier for $1,000. Okay, let's look at this one. Very rare oud made by Bedrosian. Okay, so this is another antique. Definitely looks authentic. Antique oud. Got a nice mother of pearl or some kind of inlay there in the fingerboard. Looks very beautiful. Fantastic, nice. Let's look at the peg box. These pegs, they appear to be original pegs, maybe. But it looks like this oud has been taken care of nicely. A little bit rough around the edges, but that's what you kind of expect from these antique ouds. Who knows how this oud really tunes up well or not? We'll see. Nice bowl. This is worth looking into. If I were someone trying to buy this oud, I would ask the buyer or the seller for pictures of the action. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't go near it without pictures of the action. All right, so keep that in mind. Let's take a look at another one here. Quality Wenge oud. Okay, this appears to be Turkish made. You can tell by the design of the pick guard that this is a Turkish made oud. You can also tell by the very standard mass made bridge. A lot of that's no problem, but these are some of the things you can tell that it's a Turkish made oud. Looks pretty well made. Looks like the bass string is loose just because it's not wound up, but look at the string spacing. Looks safe. It looks playable. So this looks like a safe oud to start with. $700 might not be too bad. Looks cleanly made. That is an unfinished soundboard, which is typical of a lot of ouds, especially ones that are made in Turkey. Bolt looks nice. This looks like a brand new oud, doesn't look secondhand, so it's probably safe in terms of the action. But I do see something here. This looks kind of shady. I would want better pictures of this so that you make sure this is not a crack or anything like that. Does seem to, that I would be a little bit concerned about. I'd want to see a picture of what that is. But looks like a safe oud. Always check the feedback of the seller. Let's check this one out. Okay. All right. You can tell right away from this pick guard that that's a Turkish made oud. They tend to use the similar shapes. This looks like a cleanly made oud. You can see again from the string spacing that it looks uniform. I'd still want pictures of the action just to be sure, but it looks well made. Yeah, quite nice. Looks like a new oud, so you're probably not gonna risk too much by buying this one. Price wise, I would still keep looking around, try to find something maybe a bit better price. So that's it for me today. I'm going to answer any of your questions you have about buying ouds. Let me find the name of that maker for you. Just give me a minute. get down any of the questions you have about buying ouds or whatnot. Happy to try to answer as best. I'm no expert on, oud making or not, but I know, more or less when I've got a good deal or looking at a safe oud to buy. But I do understand, it's hard to buy an oud online these days. That is why I recommend certain ouds over others or certain vendors. Okay, let's see. Almost got the name of the maker of this oud. No name of the maker. So this is probably made by a few different people in the workshop, but it is a nice oud, really nicely made. Here, let's listen to the sound a little bit of this oud. Okay, you should be able to hear that now. Okay, it's got a very sophisticated sound right off the bat. Very clear. Very nice. Nice sound. You can tell that it's got a pretty decent sound right off the bat for being a new oud. Yeah, so that's about it for me. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any more questions, I will answer them. All right, let's see here. So yeah, Amir, yeah, sorry, I don't know who made that oud. Probably it's a collaboration in the workshop. No name there. Bought an oud from Salak, and I'm so pleased to arrive all set up and ready to be played. It has a spruce top, ebony fingerboard, pegs, knocking bowl. Yeah, that's cool. Which luthier did you want to know more about, Raphael? Ethnic Musical, the ouds that we sell through Ethnic Musical, some of the ouds are made in Turkey and some of them are Zeryab ouds. The ouds that are made in Turkey, I don't know too much about the biographies of the oud makers. Unfortunately, I don't know too much about them. But I do know that the Turkish luthiers are quite good at what they do. And they're usually going to be safer buys than some of the lower priced Arabic ouds for the same price. So yeah, that's about all I know about the luthiers there. Usually in the workshops, they manage the work. It's not one person making the oud. They have different workers working on different parts of the oud because some aspects of the oud require less precision, like the bowl. The bowl, is not, once you have the process of building the bowl, becomes a very rough bowl, and then they sand it and make it look all really nice. And they let it sit and let it harden and let it get glued together. But the soundboard is where usually the head luthier is probably going to look at the soundboard and make sure that the braces are in the precise positions that they want. So when it comes to ouds that are made in a workshop, such as some of the ouds made provided by Ethnic Musical, these ouds are made by multiple people. Even ouds like some of the bigger names like Farouk Toruns and Yildirim Palabiyik. Some of these ouds, they're made by multiple people, but the magic happens in the soundboard. So the head luthier, like Yildirim, he's the one who's going to be building the soundboard and doing the finer details of the oud. And so that's what you get when you are looking at Turkish luthiers. They have a business and they have to manage their workload in a certain way. So yeah, I'll leave you with a little bit of music, and thanks so much for watching. Thanks for coming out, Carol, Amir, Wejdi, thanks so much, Hani, and Raphael. Oh yeah, and gotta mention that this weekend, if you buy one of the Ouds from my site there, I am throwing in for free the Oud Foundation 1. Let me show you a little bit about that. So all Ouds that you purchase include Oud Foundation Level 1 free. In the Oud Foundation Level 1 you can learn how to hold the Oud properly, learn how to read music, and reduce your time tuning the Oud. Has a whole tutorial about how to tune the Oud with an electric tuner, a digital tuner, and by ear. Learn all the basic notes on the Oud fingerboard, start learning how to play tremolo, and there's a lot of exercises for the strumming hand, the right hand. And there's a bonus tutorial on how to practice with a metronome. This can be very useful for some people. So that's there as well. That's all in Oud Foundation 1. So this will be free with in the price of the Oud. The Ouds we got here on sale is an entry-level Zeryab Oud. This is really nice, $519. This one is a higher middle-level Nahat design Zeryab Oud for $719. This one, both of these come set up, so they've done all the minor adjustments. They're ready to play once you tune it up. And comes with reliable EMS shipping, free shipping. This Oud, this one, there's only one left, and it's just over $1,000, and it includes DHL shipping, fast and reliable. That's what I recommend for this Oud. Gotta come get the DHL shipping. So the price is included in that. Yeah, so Purpleheart bowl, Purpleheart neck, AA Canadian cedar soundboard. And so as you heard, it does sound very sweet right off the bat. Comes with a soft case, free rishas, and of course any Oud that you buy comes with Oud Foundation 1. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Here we go. right, thank you. See you next time.